let's just talk about what's going on in the tech space. First of all, why? I was trying to ask you this during the break. You're not at Yahoo, but your whole team is at Yahoo?
So I'm an angel investor.
Right.
So for me, after the deal, to have the flexibility to invest in whatever I want was a perfect fit.
And what is your take of what's going on at Yahoo now, by the way?
Well, I think the pink elephant in the room is the Alibaba IPO. So I think we really need to let dust settle on that before people analyze the core business too much, because after that deal's done, they're going to have a lot more cash on their balance sheet.
Right. What do you make of valuations broadly? This morning, I don't know if you saw it, we were just talking about it during the break, a company called Check, which is an app-based company, sold for $100 million to Intuit. They also own Mint. Do these numbers make sense? And I'm not sure there's any, I mean, I don't know if there's how much revenue is associated with Check, but I can't imagine it would necessarily justify the $100 million number.
Well, when you're talking about the smaller deals, under $100 million or less, those companies are acquired primarily for the team, the technology, or the product, or all of the above. In the case of Quickie, we had a great mobile development team.
Right.
We had a robust IP portfolio and patents, and we had a product that won Apple Editor's Choice. So that was the rationale for that deal.
But still, when we hear people talk about what's happening right now, a lot of these companies are pre-revenue. And for people who were around in 1998, they think, oh, that's like counting eyeballs. It's the same thing, and to them it's a signal of some kind of top in some way. What do you think of that?
Well, when you're talking about the large, higher-profile deals, those companies are acquired for a strong user base and long-term revenue potential. So when Facebook bought Instagram back in 2012, a lot of people said, why would a company with 13 employees be acquired for $1 billion? But of course, the relevant metric was not the number of employees. It was the fact that Instagram had a strong user base. It was young, mobile, active, and growing, and it had long-term revenue potential.
What's it providing for revenue now?
So fast forward 2 years, Goldman Sachs estimates that Instagram will contribute up to $500 million of revenue to Facebook, which, most of that's profit. So Facebook did a great deal there and realized that revenue pretty quickly.
Where are you on Twitter, by the way?
I'm not a stock picker, but I think that having more platforms like Twitter as public platforms, like, boxes filing, is only good for the startup space.
To the extent that our audience doesn't know, explain what Skykick does.
Sure. So, the cloud sector is something that's growing rapidly right now. Under 20% of only 20% of businesses have even their email in the cloud. We all use email.
Right.
For other software apps, it's much less, right? So over time, all those businesses need to migrate to the cloud, which is why the sector overall is going to be 3x over the next 5 years to become about a $200 billion sector.
Isn't there a negative with the cloud? So historically, the thing that Joe touches, the processing power on that constrains what he can do. But with the cloud, it's like you've got the Star Trek supercomputer talking to you wherever you go, so the people who make the device are no longer relevant, right? Because you've got the supercomputer in the cloud doing all the work. Do you think that device makers, people have really processed how negative this could be for Apple?
Well, I don't really see it as negative. I mean, your businesses are going to go from having physical on-site hardware to virtual hardware in the cloud.
So and the guys who sell the hardware are upset about that. Should be more than they are, right?
Well, from my perspective, for my company, Skykick, migrating to the cloud is a very good thing, because right now, for a 20-person business, it's a 40-hour consulting project that's complex to get to the cloud, and you got the risk of, email downtime, data loss, and with our technology, we've automated much of that process. It's much like a virtual IT consultant, and we've reduced the...
So what's going on with Microsoft, you and Microsoft?
In terms of
this potential partnership?
Oh, so Skykick's teamed up with Microsoft to basically help them migrate a lot of Office users to the cloud. So the old version of Microsoft Office has about 750 million users.
Right.
The new version, Office 365, is hosted in the cloud. But to get from here to there, you need the IT consultants that sell Microsoft Office need help, and Skykick's here to